Hello guys, this is allrover and today we will be seeing about the script tag in JavaScript. Now we will be writing the JavaScript code, but where to write, whether we will write in external file or in the same file. So there are different ways in which JavaScript code can be linked with the HTML file. Like the css, we have seen the three ways. Inline css we have, and the internal css and the external css. In the inline css we were adding the style in the same tag or the same element in which we want to add any style to it, and in the internal css we were writing in the style tag in the head section only. And in the external css we are creating one external file having the .css extension, and we are linking this file using this link statement, link relation, and href we are assigning the file name to that. So in the same way we can also write the JavaScript code in three ways. First is the inline JavaScript. So this is the example code for the inline JavaScript. Here in this code you can see that this is the HTML element, and inside that we have the head and body. Inside the head we just have the title demo, and this file HTML file is linked to the CSS file having the style.css naming. And in the body part you can see that it's only one button having the ID btn, and this is the called the inline Java JS or the inline JavaScript. On click equal to alert help prasant. So we are just writing this in the inline on whatever element we want to add any functionality. We are writing that code in that element only. That is called the inline JavaScript. We are handling the click event here. Whenever we will click this say hello button, then we will get the alert hello prasant. So we will be seeing this code in the browser. So for the opening in the browser you can use alt b. So when we click on say hello, then you can see that the message is printing hello prasant. This is about the inline JavaScript. Now we will be seeing the internal JavaScript. What the internal JavaScript? Like in the internal CSS, in the internal JavaScript we will we will be writing the JavaScript code in the head part, inside the head portion, and inside the script tag having the type equal to text slash JavaScript. Inside the script tag we will be writing the JavaScript code whatever we want that. So you can see that here is the button ID having the btn, and inside the what we call the script tag we have written the statement console.log hello prasant. So whenever we will run the code, whether we will get the output or not, when we click on say hello it is not responding anything. The reason is that there is a reason behind this. When the even before this script tag has run, when the script tag runs the button has not yet loaded. So whenever we are clicking on the button we are not getting the message because it is not able to detect whether this button is available or not. So that's why it's not working. Here you can see that we should write the JavaScript code after every element has been completed, because it will not able to get the element and the value will be null. So after every element has been completed we should write our JavaScript code, that is the Internal JavaScript. I'm showing you one more example, and I will give you the reason why it will not work. And the reason I have already given, I will just summarize it. In this example, we have the script. Inside the script tag, we have written the JavaScript code having the hello button. First, you see the body part. Body part is nothing but it has just one button, as in the earlier code, and ID is btn. Now, we are getting the element ID as we have said in DOM lecture, that we can get the ID using document dot get element by ID. Any element we can get in element by its ID. So the ID is btn and it is assigned to the hello button. Now in hello button we are adding one event listener, and that event listener is click event, and you have to mention the function when that click event happens. So the function that we have to do is we have to just print the message hello prasant whenever someone clicks that button. So this is the code. Now the reason is why it will not work. First I will run it and see it is not going to work. Whenever I click on say hello, it is not working. There is a reason that I have already told you, that unless and until all the elements are loaded in the web page, the JavaScript code should not run. Because if somehow the elements has not loaded in the web page and you are clicking on the any button, then JavaScript code will not be able to detect that element. So write this what we call this JavaScript code at the end of all the element has ended, means before the body part. Just write this script tag. So the correct way is going to be writing at the end of the body. See, now the script tag is written at the end of the body, so it will able to detect all the elements and it will run perfectly. Now if I run it alt plus b, using alt plus b you can run in browser. Now whenever I click, I will get the message. So this is about the inline JavaScript and the internal JavaScript, and you have seen when internal JavaScript is not working and why it is not working. In the next lecture, we will be seeing about the external JavaScript, when we will have some JavaScript code in the external file having the .js extension, and HTML file is linked to that JavaScript file. So thank you so much for watching, and keep following in the next lectures. Thank you very much.